Came to Naperville and met this family. I went through probably the most trying personal time of my life. My younger brother took his own life. We were very close, and it took me off guard. And in the course of talking about that, talking through that with my neighbor, it turned out that the husband had had some experiences in that as well. My healthy unease about my faith and wanting to go further and figuring it's all there is happened at the same time as the tragedy in my personal life, which happened at the same time as I met the neighbors. And these three things those are it's a three-way intersection in that case. And was very familiar with the topics and was just helpful, just provided some information. Again, it wasn't overtly faith-based or anything. It was just stuff that he had heard, things he had read that helped me begin to think through it. And yes, there was a Christian and believer component to it that was intermingled within the material, but it was good factual material that did help me begin to sift through, think through the aftermath of this tragic event. And that too, knowing that here's an individual who, while he may not have experienced exactly the same thing that I had gone through and my family had gone through, it was close enough that there was another common bond and it was another linkage that helped authenticate the relationship that much at a much deeper level. Even though I was a lifelong believer of sorts and a churchgoer, had actually any one of the first number of interactions I had with the neighbor, if they had brought up explicitly their faith and their beliefs and the way they go about church, I mean, it probably would have, although they're very nice people, it probably would have kind of come off as, you know, I'm not sure we're at that level to discuss that yet. And it was something that rocked me to my foundations personally, coupled with, at the exact time that I was going through that trying time with my faith, coupled with someone who would come to get to know me on my level and not push things, but just kind of walk hand in hand on the whole thing and take it as it comes and play more defense than offense, actually, because it was more, as the topic came up, very, very gentle, very winsome way of going about it, and just being very open. It was a very natural occurrence because nothing was forced. I never felt like I was evangelized to. It was more just a sense of, we're in this together. Let's get through. Let's talk about things that are meaningful in human existence from time to time. But let's intersperse that with a lot of fun in everyday life. But those are the three intersections I think that occurred in my, at least in my journey. Not until that foundation of the actual personal relationship had been laid, and after that, it just made it very, very easy to begin that level of dialogue, and that then led to more dialogues from there. But we began to understand that if questions about faith and belief in Christ and so forth happened to be on each other's mind, that it was a safe place to explore it with that other individual after that foundation had been laid, after we had gone through a common trying time and helped each other through that it really opened the door to ongoing discussions whenever the time warranted.